Hey there everyone, my name is Tami. I'm a third grade teacher and I run a blog called Oh So Blessed. I'm also a Teachers Pay Teachers seller and I just love teaching. I have a passion for it. So there's a little blurb about myself before I get started because I've never made a video before. So bear with me please, this might be rough. But I wanted to make a video today to show you how to use your Erin Condren Teacher Planner to write your lesson plans and then to print them onto Post-it notes. This all started last year when I made my own planner completely out of a blank planner and Post-it notes completely, and I absolutely loved it. And then I got my Erin Condren Teacher Planner, which I love because it's an all-in-one planning book, but I didn't like handwriting my plans, and that's how this all came about, to create it with complete Post-it notes. And it absolutely looks great, it's easy to read, and in fact here's an example of my plans handwritten out before. They look something like this. Basically just a hot mess of my terrible handwriting, chicken scratch. It would start nice, turn out terrible. And here's what they look like, completely printed out, color-coded, fun fonts, absolutely gorgeous. Makes my teacher heart happy. If you don't have an Erin Condren Teacher Planner, I don't suggest watching this video, but my next one will be all about how to DIY your own complete Post-it note teaching planning book. So you can wait for that one. But if you have an Erin Condren Teacher Planner and you're not happy about writing your plans out and you want to do them all on the computer and Post-it notes sound like a great way to do it, then this is the video for you. So let's get started. First, you're going to need a blank page and several materials. The first materials you'll need are blank mini Post-it notes, and here's what I mean by the mini ones. They're not the complete square ones. They're the, I believe, 1.5 by 2 or 2.5 by 2. I don't remember exactly what the dimensions are, but I use 5 different colors to match the Erin Condren planner, which is, if you have yours out, it's 5 different colors: red, yellowish, green, blue, and pink. So I picked my 5 colors pretty similar to that to keep it pretty uniform. So I've got this reddish color, which I call orange actually, yellow, green, blue, and pink. Now, to get these colors, you have to kind of buy 2 separate sets. You have to buy some from the actual Post-it company itself, and that's where I got my green and pink. These are actual Post-it notes. And then these 3 colors are actually Staples brand stickies that I got at Staples. And I got these colors because this is actually a true yellow. It's not that yellowish green color. And I like the Post-it pink better than other company colors. So those are the 5 colors that I use. I buy the large 12 packs that you get 3 of each of 4 colors, and they last for quite a while. So you need those to start with. And then on your blank page, you're going to want some sort of pen to write in some of your information. And then I also like to use transparent Post-it flags to write other information on. These ones are my favorite because you get this whole giant pack from the Dollar Tree for $1. I already used all of the pink ones already, you'll see. But they also have some made by Post-it themselves that are transparent. You just only get 4 colors. And then these are actually from Walmart, 5 colors, but they're also transparent. They still both cost more than a whole bunch of them in a slew of colors from the Dollar Tree. So if you have a Dollar Tree nearby, go there and check those out and pick up a pack or 2 for $1. Mine's all out sadly, so I have to go find some more. I also use some washi tape to delineate where my snack recess is in the morning and lunch recess is in the afternoon, instead of writing those in and taking away one of my blocks for actual planning. And then black pens, I love Papermate Flares or Statler fine liners. Either one do a great job. I like felt pens the best. So to start, on my blank page, I'm going to go ahead and just fill in information for what week I'm on, my subject areas, what times I'm teaching them, and then the dates. So that'll end up looking something like this. And I already have gone ahead and done some for the next few weeks into February. So I've got my dates. I just do the month and the day, but you can write in whatever works for you. I've also got each of my subjects and what times I'm teaching them across the top, and I do those in my felt pen. And then I've also got on my flags important information I need to know, like when I have bus duty, when we have gym, our students don't go to chapel, when I need to have newsletters done, and staff meetings, information like that. So I started out looking like that, and then I lay in my washi tape so that it shows exactly when exactly when my students go places without taking away the blocks, as I mentioned. I was writing on at the beginning of the year too on the washi tape itself in Sharpie exactly when those times were to get myself adjusted to the new schedule this year, and to help for subs, but I haven't been doing that lately. I just lay in the washi tape to delineate it. So you can do whatever works for you. You don't have to use washi tape, but it's a good little trick I have. I just lay them right in the middle of 2 of the blocks, and I'll show you how that looks. All done. It's going to look something like that, and it just completely delineates where snack is, and then I would do that again for lunch. Now to show you how to completely create your lesson plans on the computer and then print them onto Post-its themselves. It's so much fun. I just love doing it, especially if you're like me and you love fonts and you love clip art and you like things to just be nice and neat and easy to read. You'll love this part. Okay, so let's get started making those lesson plans on the computer. To start, I have a whole separate folder that I labeled EC lesson plans here on my screen. So to click on that just to show you how I organize this. I organize mine by the month, and then each file is actually its own week. That just works better for me to organize it, but you can organize these however you want, and you could even keep all of the files in one PowerPoint file if you want, but that's completely up to you how you like keeping it organized. For me, this is how it works in my brain, and it's how I've done it for a few years now. So you'll see that each month has several files within it, and again, we're using PowerPoint. When you download the template that you get, it's going to be in PowerPoint, and there's a reason behind that. It just makes it a little bit easier. So you can see that where I'm planning next, I have my PowerPoint file, and I had my PDF version made too to help me with my printing. So we'll get to that in just a moment. So to start, here's what it's going to look like when you open up the template. It's going to look something like this. It's just several gray boxes on the page, and I made it into a file. So in a picture that I overlaid onto the screen, so that way you won't have to worry about what if I move the boxes. They'll always be right where they should be, although Control Z is your best friend. So this is what's going to look when you get it. The reason I have it set up this way with a gap here is this is one day. There are 7 boxes going across one day on your planner. So there are 7 boxes for the first day, 7 boxes for the next day. You can print 2 pages or 2 days per page. So to get started, this is the page that you're going to actually print off, this template page, and lay the Post-its on. So I'm going to start by duplicating the slide. I'm going to right click on the slide and duplicate it. That's the great thing about using PowerPoint, is I can duplicate my slides and everything is exactly in the same place as it was up here. So now I'm going to go ahead and get started writing my plans. I insert a text box in PowerPoint, and I'm going to lay that right over top of my first box, and there it is for me, already ready to go. I can start typing into it. You might think that these are a little small, but you'd be surprised how much information you can fit on there. The smaller you make your font size, the more you can fit. So let's go ahead and type something in like morning worksheet page 34. Just something very simple and completely random. So I can shrink it down. That looks pretty small here, but you'd be surprised what a size 10 or 11 looks like printed out on your Post-it. And now the fun part, I can go down and put in some really fun fonts. There we go. So that's size 11. Here is size, let's look at size 14. You can see what that looks like. And once you get all of the information typed in the way you want it, type whatever you want here. Then what you can do is just take your text box that you have formatted how you want and lined up how you want where your Post-it's going to be. Then you can copy and paste it and just drag it on over, and then you keep your formatting from all your fonts, but you could make each one different if you want. Let's go ahead and use one of my favorites for cursive. So let's work on some cursive now. Okay, and I'm going to keep going until I fill in all of my boxes with whatever I want. Then what's great about this is, let's say there's certain things that you do on Monday and Tuesday, you can then duplicate this slide and everything is again exactly in the same spot, formatting kept the same, and then you just need to go in and change some things. So here is what a set of my plans look like completely done. Again, there is my template page for printing purposes. I'm going to print that off first. Then here is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Lots of information is put in there, but you can still see lots more room to fit things. That's actually a pretty large size, takes up a lot of space. I have even used, there's some fun clip art there for when my students are at special. I've even overlaid black and white clip art into it. It all looks really cute. I did that for a field trip using all kinds of fun fonts. It just makes your plans look really nice. And again, they look really neat and laid out. One other thing I want to mention is these are some notes that I put in back when I started making this, just so my brain would get used to how I do it. These are not things that are going to print onto the Post-it notes. These are actually going to print onto the paper themselves. Only what's in the gray box is what prints on your Post-it note. So these are just for my reference. When's Monday, what's Tuesday, what's Wednesday, what's Thursday, and what's Friday. I used to have all of this information on every single page, but to save on ink, I don't really need it anymore, so I just have it on Monday. And I used to also put what color these Post-it notes were going to be until I got used to the order. It took me a couple of weeks of planning it. So this is what it looks like. So let me just go ahead and save this. So now to print it, I like to save it as a PDF first. That's just my preference, so it gets all of my formatting. So here is my PDF all done. And to print, the first thing I'm going to print, like I said, is this template page here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit print. And I'm printing on a laser printer, and this will work if you have a laser printer. Mine is a Brother laser printer. It will work just fine as long as you know how to feed it in properly. And the first thing I'm going to print is just this template page. So I only want this page, and you can print 3 copies if you want, so you can lay all of your Post-its out first, or I just do 1 copy and then do 1 day at a time to save on paper. So I'm going to go ahead and print that. And now let's see what that is going to look like. Okay, so I went ahead and printed that template page, and here's what it looks like. Printed out gray boxes, just like it looked on the screen. And now I'm going to lay my Post-it notes onto the paper so that I can go ahead and print out all of my plans. So to do that, I'm going to get my first color, which is the orange color. I'm going to lay it right on top of where the gray box is, so it'll start to look like that. You can see that, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and lay those on, and one tip about when you lay those on is when you peel it off, I like to peel it off kind of sideways so that it keeps it as flat as possible. You don't really want it curling up on the paper so that it doesn't really get folded or jam up your printer in any way. So we're going to go ahead and lay all these on real quick so that you can see what this page is going to look like before you put it into your printer. So this is what my first page is going to be, which was my Monday and Tuesday, and which in your planner is like a red and yellow color, so that's going to be my orange and yellow color Post-its. So let's get these laid on. The beauty about these is when you buy a pack, each little stack of Post-its holds 100, and you only use 7 a week for each color. So they're going to last you a little while. I bought a pack from who knows when, and I only had to restock this year, and I should be good into next year. So it's really not a huge investment Post-it note wise, but to find the actual Post-it brand ones, again, these were from Staples and I found those at Staples, but the actual Post-it note brand ones for this color that I really wanted, this bright pink, those ones I had to order on Amazon. I think they were only $8 or so, so it wasn't terrible. Okay, so I've got all those laid on, and that's what that looks like when it's ready to go. And I'm going to feed this into my printer, and when I print it out, this is what it looks like. It looks absolutely beautiful. Again, here's those headings that I showed you. Monday, Tuesday, they're on the paper. They're not on the Post-it. When I go ahead and take this off, there's my gray box, and there is my Post-it with all of the information on it. And now I can go ahead and start to assemble my planner. So then I just lay it on top, right in the box where it goes, and you can see it fits in beautifully. And what's also great about this is you can write information underneath. You can take notes as you're working, teaching your class. I've done that in the past. As I teach a lesson, I actually check it off, and then if I don't do something, like we obviously didn't get to this, I can take this off and go ahead and move it to another day. If you don't mind the colors not matching each other, you can move them all around for when you didn't teach it. In fact, you can see I did that here. I had to move something around that's a different color, and I've done that in the past too, where things didn't quite fit. Here's an example of using some clip art. I put in our earlier release. I used an Ashley Hughes clock. I used a fun Christmas tree because this was right before Christmas break. For our zoo field trip, I put in some zoo clip art, but I've also made notes underneath. I circle things if I didn't quite get to it that day, and so I know I have to go back and do that. And I write all over these, and that's okay because I'm not going to reuse this next year, obviously. But I can take notes underneath, so I have this for reference in the future. And that's what I love about it. I'm making it dual purpose. Instead of just writing on my planner, now I'm writing on the Post-its, and then I can write underneath too and make even more notes. So when it's done, as I said before, it's going to look just like this. And that looks absolutely beautiful. And then you can make as many notes as you need. And 1 week is done. When it lays out on your desk, look how nice and neat and organized you look. And then you can do these for however many weeks in a row that you want, depending on how far in advance you like to plan. I just like to plan 1 week at a time. Things move around, things change. I have to be really flexible with the school I'm in, and I'm okay with that. So, but I'm ready to go for next week, and then I can put those in when the time comes. So I hope that you found that tutorial helpful. I hope it made sense. Again, this was my first video, so I was a bit nervous, and I also tend to talk really fast. That's just part of my personality. So I hope, again, that this was helpful to you and that you enjoy using your Erin Condren Teacher Planner with Post-it notes. Again, my name's Tami from Oh So Blessed, and I can't wait to see you next time. Have a great day.